Hey everyone, Anthony Aries here, and today I have got a very, very special guest for you. I'm really excited about today's guest because this gentleman has been online for 10 years, which is no small feat. I have also been online for about 11 years, and I understand what it takes to be online that long. So I'm really excited because today he's going to share with us some of his secrets for having been online that long, for having building also a lifestyle business. He's built truly a lifestyle business. He travels all over the world with his family, and he's going to show us how you can own the traffic. He's going to talk to us about that today, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how you can, change from where you are to the next level. So without further ado, Mr. Alex Jeffries, how are you?
What's up, my man? You sexy beast, you.
Good to see you, you sexy beast.
I'm looking forward to this. You throw anything at me, we're going to rock it for you.
Awesome,
Whatever
man.
you can throw at me, let's get it out. Let's just get some serious content, some value,
Yes.
actionable steps,
Yes.
and let's take them through a process, man. I'm excited for you people.
Me too. I'm very excited also because my affinity for you happened a couple years ago when you made your splash onto the Warrior Forum. I believe it was around November of 2011. You launched your first WSO. It was around then, and you
Yep.
launched a really cool WSO called Affiliate Sniper, Affiliate Traffic Sniper.
Social infiltrator.
Social Infiltrator, that was the first one. Then the second
Yep.
one was Affiliate
Yep.
Traffic Sniper. And when I went through that course, and it was just pure brilliance because you laid out how to create sustainability in our business. And in addition to that, you also laid out how to create ultimate syndication. So no matter where people looked for you, you were everywhere. And it wasn't a sexy method, but that's okay. Sexy sometimes doesn't work. It was a very big money-making method. And when I saw that, a lot of light bulbs went off in my head, and that's when I started to realize that you were the real deal. And you laid out everything. Like, there was no holds bar. You showed exactly how you did everything. You even showed how to outsource the method. It was amazing. So that's when that's when I fell in love with you as a marketer. I was like, this guy's awesome. Now I had heard of you because I had also invested in Rich Schefren's training, and I know that you and him do a lot of stuff together. And for those of you that don't know, Rich Schefren is the guru to the gurus. He's like upper echelon kind of guy, and Alex has done a ton of stuff with Rich. So I had heard of Alex, but I'd never gotten anything from him. And so after getting that, it was like, like it happened. Like I was like, this guy's awesome. He really knows his stuff. And he didn't hold anything back. So what I wanted to do is kind of give folks a little bit of a background about yourself. Like, 10 years ago, where were you and how did you get to this? I mean, every time I see you, you're at an event. You're always at an event. You're beat bopping around all over the world. You always have your family with you, all your boys and your wife always with you. So I would love to know, how did you go from here to there? Like, if you could give folks a little bit of background about yourself.
Hard work, determination. The reality of it is that, I'm an entrepreneur. I remember being 12 years old and saying for the first time out loud to myself, walking across the field, I'll be a millionaire by 30. And, I published my school reports. I've actually published them on the internet, and you can see how bad I was. Anthony, in the UK, there's a thing called GCSEs. That's our exams. When I was a certain age in school, they brought in a level called C of E, Certificate of Education, which is below standard. Okay, so when you're C of E, it means you're thick, right? It's like there's no other saying for it. Like I went to a remedial school, okay, and basically in C of E, to cut a long story short, I was the bottom grade in the C of E. So like I am like what you call like a real thick person, right, at a young age. Now, I've now grown up to not say that about myself because people keep telling me I'm not thick and you shouldn't say it about yourself. But at a young age, I was thick, right?
Every time I've had a conversation with you, man, there's like lots of ahas going on in my head. So you're definitely not thick.
So at this age, I'm really struggling. I leave school just there's nothing for me. Okay, like the school says like ship him out. He's
You're
got
basically screwed.
no prospect in life, right? So I remember my dad. My dad wanted me to. My dad was furious, right? Like my mum was like, "Love, you'll be a star. You're going to be amazing." She believed in me before I believed in myself. My mum believed in me, and my dad was horrified because my brother passed his exams, my sister's got A levels, yada yada. So my dad said, "You're going to college," and he stuck me in a place called iTech, and he said, "You're going to do computers. Computers are the way forward." And I went to do my exam for the computers. And they put me into the electronic class. So like electronics, computers, same thing. Well, what I realized is I failed the computer class. So they put me into electronics where I was soldering iron to pieces of bloody... basically, I was going to work on a production line in a TV warehouse, soldering TVs. That was like my life, right? So as soon as I caught wind, that was it. I was like, I'm out of here, right? Like, I wasn't that thick, do you get me? Like, I wasn't doing that. So, and you have to remember, I had a burning desire within me. I just didn't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
So that's something in my life is I have a lot of knowledge within me that I'm still not able to explain yet.
Right.
So there's still a lot in me that, and I'm working now with a transformational coach to actually help me become to a higher level and be able to explain myself in a better way. And that's just starting now, which is very exciting. But, the point is that I couldn't explain myself, so I used to get very frustrated. So anyway, I went to work on a construction site for years and years and years. And you know a bricklayer, Anthony?
Yes.
Well, a bricklayer has like a bricklayer's mate who passes in the bricks.
Yes, the apprentice.
I was the guy who swept up behind the apprentice. You with me?
Yeah.
So that was me for years and years and years and years and years, like $300 a week for years and years and years. And then one day, and it's funny because I remember being 24 years old and people heckled me because I was always saying I'll be a millionaire one day. Never stopped saying it. And I remember people used to heckle me, and I'll never forget this one time. I was in my wife's house. She was my girlfriend at the time, and she was. I remember sitting around with all of her parents and the family there, and her mum said, "You're going to be a millionaire at 30 still?" And I was like 24. I'm like, "Yeah." And like everyone laughed, and even Katie, like my girlfriend, laughed this time. I looked at her, just totally gone off. I just like looked at her like. I just wasn't impressed as she laughed with everyone else, and she kind of says, and she's being my rock as well, So
right.
so I was like, then I was like, screw everyone, like apart from my mum and Katie, screw everyone. So and then I was working for my dad for all these years in construction. I was actually working for my dad. So and I used to be sacked, like I was fired. I must have been 100 times. Like, because I wanted to take over that company so many times, and he would never give me the chance, ever give me a chance. He was always giving my older brother, the chance. So my brother and my dad would run the company. I'm seeing insights, and I want to do them, but I can't explain them yet, I haven't got this business knowledge, this acumen yet. So, and anybody who joins the company automatically goes above me. So I'm always the bottom person. So say you join, I've been there 5 years, you join, you go straight above me. Right? So yeah, it was, you don't even know how much it drove, but it drove me to success. Like my dad drove me to success. And it's funny because I did just like fast forward quickly. I did a seminar recently. We had several hundred people come and watch me speak on stage. And it was just jam-packed. I had this big arena full of people watching me speak on stage. And I had my dad come the last day to just stand there and watch everybody queue in to have photos with me, to have my autographs, giving me money. And my dad was like, and I said, told you. Oh, I so wanted to do that, And
bet, dude.
Oh, and like,
But in a good way, right? I mean, like, just to show your dad, like, hey, listen, I had what it takes, I get it, dude. I get it. It's funny how fathers are like that and mothers aren't, Mothers are always like, you can do it, you can do it. And your dads are like, you can't do it, I get it, man.
Furious. Oh, it drove me to success. How furious I was, And so I continued, and I found out one day, actually, 10 years ago yesterday, I've been online for 10 years, right? It's my 10-year anniversary yesterday. It's like crazy, Anthony. So about 10 years ago, a friend said to me, there's this thing called eBay. Like, eBay? What's eBay all about? As soon as I saw eBay, like the light bulbs went off. I'm like, there's the world at my computer screen.
Yep.
Right? At that point, I was no good on computers. I hadn't really set anything up. Let's get into it. So I really got into eBay and started trying to learn eBay. And I come across, how to sell ebooks on eBay, like digitally deliver these ebooks, and kind of went over my head, like setting them up, and I didn't know how to set it up and automation and all this stuff. But I really played with it, and I read in one of the ebooks. Actually, I was selling wholesale lists. Can you remember when they used to do that on eBay?
Yes. Yep.
So
Like
I said,
what was it? Saleho and stuff was one of them.
yeah, like Alibaba and stuff like that. So I bought one of these wholesale lists because it come with resale rights. So I was able to buy it for like $3 and sell it for like 99 cents over and over and over, or whatever.
Yep.
So I had all of these different things I was selling on eBay, and before eBay clamped down and changed the rules. And I bought one of these wholesale lists, and it had all of these motorbikes from China I could buy for like $200 a pop. And my passion, Anthony, when I was younger was motorbikes. Like I drove motorbikes every day, every single day of my life. Like you couldn't get me off a motorbike, just wheeling, wheeling, wheeling. That's all I wanted to do. It's just full of wheeling. That was my life, right? That was me. And so I saw these motorbikes, and I'm like, I can make a ton of money because like my passion will shine through in selling them.
Yeah, right.
So I went to the bank. It's funny, I was telling Simon, like Simon, just on a side thing, like you always just, everybody listen, it's great to be an entrepreneur, it's great to strive, but you want good people around you. Like I'm in an office right now with such great people around me. Like I've got this guy, he's 23 years old. He's like, oh, Alex, this is your baby, like my company. And he's like, but it's becoming my niece, It's like he's in there. And I was telling him a story of, 10 years ago, I went to the bank and I asked for a bank loan. And they said, you have to do a business plan, right? You have to do this big business plan and come back with a business plan. We'll give you a loan. So I'm like, I'm going to go and get these motorbikes, right? So I built this big business plan. I went to a company, and they helped me set up my plan and my projections. Took it to the bank, and they said no. So I was like, so you're against me as well, are you? Right, I'll prove you wrong as well. So my bank manager really saw, that I was fiery, and he introduced me to one of his clients who was like the fourth richest in my country. So I've now gone and met like one of the richest guys in my country, and he said, look, your business plan is totally flawed. Why don't you come and work with me? I'll give you a $50,000 a year salary, about $100,000 a year salary. I'm like 22, 23. And you'll work with me, and I'll make you very rich. Well, I turned it down. I was like, no, I'm going to go for myself, right? And I went and got the money myself, other means, okay? Nice. So I made that money myself to buy a container of motorbikes. So I went and bought a container of motorbikes, shipped them from China. Now, here's the thing. The number one word in business, please, everyone listen to this, leverage. Just like, if you read my first book, 2007, many, many years ago, I talk about that word leverage. It's just like, once you understand leverage and use it everywhere, you're good. So I bought a container of motorbikes, but I didn't pay 80% of the money until they arrived in the UK. Now, these motorbikes are on sea for 6 weeks. So I've got a 6-week opening to sell the motorbikes before they arrived. So I now started listing the auctions that they would be delivered on this date, and I was pre-selling them for a cheaper price. The container would arrive, and I would ship these motorbikes all over the UK, and I would take the cream off the top. So within 3 months of doing that, because I was now buying and having cycles of containers come in, I did like over $100,000 in like 3 months. And I realized at that point that I couldn't do it alone. I needed a coach. I needed a mentor. Like I knew that was paramount. So I got a mentor back then who I still use a lot of his principles of just, plan tomorrow today, every day.
Yeah.
Like I plan tomorrow, like before this evening's over, I'll have tomorrow planned. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'll walk in any office and, even if I got a free day, it's like day off. Like I'm planning that stuff,
Yep.
So, I got a coach, and I lost my
You lost your train of
thought.
thought. Don't worry, man. You're excited. So the motorbikes are coming in. You did 100K in 3 months. You realized that you needed help at this point.
Yeah.
In your business.
So I needed help, and I also realized the marketing was, like the biggest asset of the business. Like if I didn't do the marketing correct in the auctions, Nobody would be phoning, nobody
Right.
would be
Right.
emailing. So I just really like got out, like marketing is key.
Yep.
So one day I just typed into Google like internet marketing, just
Yep.
like to try and help it. And I just saw all of these things. You could become rich by tomorrow. You'll be rich by this afternoon. Press 3 buttons. You're going to be a millionaire. Like it literally just like got me by the foot, dragged me in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I studied internet marketing from that moment, and I bought every scam you can think. I got scammed and
Me
scammed
too,
and
man.
scammed.
Me too.
Yeah, it happens to everyone, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It happens to
But it's
everyone.
okay, right? Like I'm okay with everything because it's like everything that's happened to me that didn't provide value, but it still brought me down this road, and I learned from it. And you do pick up tidbits even from the stuff that is scams because you know what not to do.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And but I feel you. I've been there, and I'm sure people listening to this know exactly where we're coming from too.
Sure. So I studied marketing, and I realized like what not to do. Exactly as you're saying, like I was like, that's not what to do. That's not what to do.
Yeah.
That's not how to treat your customers.
Yeah.
And that was one of my first real lessons. That's why I built a great brand, and we can maybe talk about my brand after, because I think even though I'm not into brand awareness, or I'm a huge Dan Kennedy fan, I have no care about brand. I had an entrance to market. I cornered the marketplace with a message, and maybe we can talk about that. So as I'm studying marketing, I started finding some interesting things which were good, and I started utilizing them on my auctions. Like, for instance, you couldn't put a website on your auction, but you could put an email address. So I put like, sales at website address.
Right. So they could go check out the website address.
Exactly. And then, and if they bought from my website or they phoned me from my website, I was able to save the eBay fees.
Yes.
So there was just lots of tricks like that I was doing and picking up from other people. And I put them all into my auctions. And then I then attended my first seminar, and it was in Alabama. And I remember my mum's face when I was saying, "Mum, I'm going to a seminar." She's like, "Where to?" I'm like, "Alabama." She's like, "Alabama?" Like, I'm from the UK, right? She's like, "Alabama." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to meet a guy off the internet. He's going to teach me how to become rich." My mum did the old double take, like,
Right.
there, you're like,
Where do you
insane?
lose
Are you insane, son? Like, And she was just like, what the hell? So she made my old man come with me for security. And we took off to Alabama. So I'm sitting in this conference room, and it was all the way in school, I sat at the back of the room. In this seminar, I sat at the front of the room the whole 2 days. So I'm sat there making notes, like I'm number one student right now, And after a couple of days, I looked around the room, I'm like, oh, man, I spent all this money. I know this stuff. Like, I've wasted this money, this trip, I know this stuff. And I looked around the room, and I realized that everybody else in the room was newbies, and they didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So first of all, I looked at a negative, and that's a good lesson to everybody. Anytime there's a negative, there's always a positive to every negative.
There's an up, there's a down, there's a right, there's a left, there's a good, there's a bad. There's always an opposite and immediate reaction to everything. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So as soon as I thought, I know this stuff. Well, nobody else knows this stuff. What an advantage, It's brilliant, right? Love.
I bet it was great validation for you too, though, that you knew that stuff. You're like, man, I really know my shit. This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars selling information off stage.
Right.
Like, I know how to do this, right?
Right.
So there was one real lesson that I learned there. Like, one lesson that's always stuck with me. If you can make money, you can make money. If you can teach people how to make money, you can make 10 times the money, right? And that kind of rings true with anything. If you can do something, you can do something, and you can teach people how to do it, you can make 10 times the money of doing it.
Right.
So I'm thinking, like, I'm making this money on eBay. I can go and teach people how to make money on eBay and make 10 times the money. So that was when I kind of ventured off of eBay onto the whole internet world. And I built my first website, which was called Easy Profit Auctions. So I started building my first information product. I built the information product, I packaged it, and then I released it. Did a product launch. And we did $27,000 of sales in the first week of this product, which was really nice. It was nice chunk of change. But what happened next was it was like, oh.
No sales.
I put all my eggs in the basket,
Yeah.
I've done this product launch.
Did you stop the motorcycle business at this point?
I stopped I kind of missed out. The motorbike business went so fast because the people I was dealing with were, let me just tell you a funny story. I may as well throw it in.
No, why not? Stories are great. Listen, that's what it's all about, right? Like we've all got stories, and it's important to find out how you got to where you are, man.
Yeah, sure. So I was dealing. So what happened is I was importing these motorbikes from China on my own, and then I phoned them one time. I'm like, hey, can you send me another container? Like, no, we can't. This company's taken over the sole propriety of the UK. You have to deal with them now. So I'm like,
they bought exclusive rights to distribute?
Exclusive rights to the whole UK, yeah. They were buying like endless containers. So what they were doing is they were buying all of these motorbikes and then putting them in like the trade magazines for like 50% less than everything else. So they were doing direct response and they killed the industry. Like they cleaned up, right? So I phoned them and I'm like, listen, I want containers of these bikes. I'm coming to see you. So I went up to their property in Gatwick in London, and there was, bro, like at that age, I'd never seen houses like it, right? Big Egyptian family with pillars of marble. It was servants, bro, it was unreal, right?
Wow.
Unreal. And they were killing it. But what they did was they were scamming a lot of people. They were taking checks off people, cashing the checks, and not shipping the bikes. They were actually selling more than they were.
Oh, man.
Yeah, then they could fulfill, like, and buy like say 5 times more.
Without that even being necessary, probably.
It wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't necessary, but it was. They had a whole. It was a whole ring. They left the country. They went back to Egypt and they left. Now, I've now given them about $30-something thousand of my money. I'm now selling these pre-ordered bikes. I'm like, oh you know, like, oh my God, we're coming up to Christmas.
You can say shit. My people are used to shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you know, like, oh, and 3 days before Christmas, she's like, I've lost the release papers. I don't know where they are. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, I thought I'd been ripped off, scammed, I'd been cut, you know, and horrific to work with they were, and they released my container, and this container arrives. I got this big 40-foot container with like 200 motorbikes in. I'm like, hallelujah, you know.
God.
I shipped them to all my customers, and I'm happy, right? But now, like, I've got loads of motorbikes still left over. So my house is full, you know, like just stacked with motorbikes all around. Like, my living room's got all these boxes of motorbikes. My garage has got all these bikes. My shed, my back garden, my mum's, right? And a few days before Christmas, and I'm sitting there watching TV, and it just comes up on the TV, just goes, warning, you know, like, rogue traders, like, do not buy these motorbikes. Like, if somebody tries to sell you one of these motorbikes, it's a scam, right? And I'm like,
no.
And literally, they've got like the video crew climbing over the people's house. I'm like, I go to that house. My phone's blowing up with all my friends. Like, bro, you know, can you see what's on TV? And I'm like, no. The thing was, I had the motorbikes. There's nothing wrong with the motorbikes,
right?
But it was just the fact that the fulfillment wasn't happening. So there was this big scam going on. I was I was the head honcho with that, you know. So I was like, do you know what? Like, let's just get out of this. Like, mate, they ruined the industry. You know, those, you know, like the pit bikes.
Yep.
Oh, we cleaned up with it, but like they ruined it. We had a good thing. They screwed it up. Good though. I'm glad, because then I started. That's why I looked into internet marketing again, because remember I said at the beginning I learned about this information stuff, but I couldn't quite figure it out. And I was like, well, I'm going to go back to that and learn it. And that's why I went to the seminar. And then I'd already been learning in the background somewhat, so like I was just naturally progressing. So I'm glad the motorbike business screwed up, because now I'm ready to start my internet business. So I took all of that knowledge I built selling the bikes and
it all compounds, man. It all compounds.
Yeah.
So you launched online the eBay online profit system. You launched it. You made your $27,000. A couple weeks go by, and sales stop coming in.
No. Week one, I launch. I get all these affiliates rallying to launch. Week one, $27,000. Week two, zero.
Oh, man. I've been there.
Zero.
Yep. I feel the pain.
I was like, I literally thought, wow, you know, like I was on such a high, then such a low. And I was like, where's all these affiliates gone? Like, I thought it would just carry on happening. I thought I was in now. I thought I was in the winnings. And I was like, that was depression. Like I was like, oh my God. And I moped for like 3 days. I was in such a moping state.
Well, it's understandable. Like, you've given up the motorcycle business, you put your heart and soul into this, and you're thinking to yourself, this is it. This is my way out. Like,
Yeah.
you saw the gold at the end of the rainbow, and then you get there, and you're like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Yeah. Like what? And, I was gutted, but I remember just that feeling again. You know, it was like, well, hang on a sec. Because first of all, I'm thinking like I've spent all of this time, and here's the thing, I spent like several months building this product.
Yep.
Several months getting everything ready, when really I didn't spend several months to do it all. I spent several months procrastinating from doing it.
Right.
It took me a very short period of time without the procrastination. And I'll talk to people about how you can get rid of all that.
Okay.
But make things simple.
I'm going to make a note of that so we don't forget.
Yeah.
Yep, procrastination.
I've just got like, I can make a product in a day now and do multiple six figures off a one-day product.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Right? Yeah, I'll share that stuff with you. So so I'm there moping thing, and I've spent months building all of this. You know, I've used all my resources of money. You know, we're definitely down with money. You know, we're not in a good position at this point in my life, and you know, done this launch, and now it's bombed. And then I kind of thought to myself, hang on a second. All the work has already been done. All I need to focus on now is just traffic. That's it. Like the product's ready, the sales machine's ready, the sales letter, the automated website's ready. That's it. Traffic. All I need to do is focus on traffic. And that's when I got my mind to like sheer focus now, you know?
Yep.
Because drive traffic to an offer, it converts, equals money. That's it.
Yep. And so that's where Affiliate Sniper, the Affiliate Traffic Sniper came in, because that was the method that you used to explode or to keep that business going, right?
So it's called Secret Affiliate Sniper.
Oh, sorry, Secret Affiliate Sniper. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was a couple years ago I went through it. It was a while ago.
Yeah. So I built a system, and I'll give it, you know, if you want to talk about, give it to your people or something as a bonus or whatever. And I basically was like, right, you know, there's got to be a formula. I wasn't so thick at this time in my life, Anthony, right? Like I was starting to get, the cogs were starting to work okay for me.
Right.
So so I built like a formula of finding keywords on Google. So let's just say my product was called Easy Profit Auctions. So now I would find any competitor. So let's just say I would put in, you know, profit auctions into, or auction profits into Google. And that's just going to bring up every website with those keywords.
Yep.
So I was starting to rip all of those websites and put them into a spreadsheet. And then I was starting to, if I saw a different keyword, I put it into another spreadsheet. It might say, you know, profit secrets, for an example, or auction secrets.
Yep.
You know, so I put that into another one, so I could start putting that into Google and ripping all those. So I was basically just trudging through Google and pulling all these websites of other information vendors, and then I was then also not just going after those vendors, but I was going after those vendors' affiliates. So every person who promoted those on Google, I went after those as well.
Yep.
So I just built up these spreadsheets of all of these people, built a process, like an outsource it, and then outsourced it. So I remember I didn't really have the money at the time to outsource it and pay. So I remember my wife, you know, and she was there with the bouncer, you know, with the baby bouncer with her foot. She's bouncing the baby, and she's just doing this day in, day out. And the whole aim was to contact. We had the system down where we would add, say, hundreds. Say you add 200 new websites to the spreadsheet a day. You contact 50 affiliates a day, and then what would happen is when the affiliates would reply back, I would then take over, because that was when I could play email tennis.
Yep.
So we put out some bait to them, like a message about like you know, like a network and so forth. You know, like we can build, you know, an alliance together, and you know.
And you reveal all of this in that training, which when I saw that, I was like, man, this is badass. Like you had it down. Like you show the spreadsheet, you show how you work the spreadsheet. And that's, like I said, when I got affinity towards you, and I'm like, this guy's really smart. He really knows what he's doing. And me as a product creator, I saw that and I was just like, this is something I need to do in my business too with my stuff. So
yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and just something there, you know, what I love, you know, like my passion is writing. I'm going to go off and I'll be able to come back to this if you remind me to go back to the
Yeah.
spreadsheet thing.
Yeah.
You know, but because, you know, I guess it ties in because, you know, my passion's writing, right? And the reason my passion now is writing is because I understand the power of, you know, writing an ebook and being able to sell it.
Yeah.
Like how much that's worth.
It's the
right?
leverage.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can write something. I mean,
Once and sell
I
it.
can write this and this here. How much is this worth, right? Well, I could go out and sell this for $5,000 today
Yeah.
on paper because of the knowledge that's on there.
Yeah.
But if I put that onto the internet, I might be able to reduce it to $97 because it's now one to many, and I'm out shipping all around the world, and I might be able to make $50,000 from this
Right.
information.
Right.
Right. So I love writing because of that leverage it gives us. Right.
Yeah.
I also love writing because the power of a message with a sales letter. You know, if you can go, and we should go into this in a bit of like, you know, what I'm doing next and how I coach people now, Anthony, like the 6 steps.
Sure.
Talk about six steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 fingers in one. So and I'll talk to you about, you know, like that stuff then, right? But I love writing because it's a passion. Because also it gives me time to look cool on the internet. Because I can write something now and I don't have to publish it until I'm ready to publish it.
Right.
And then say I spend 3 hours writing something and I then publish it and somebody reads it in 3 minutes, they go, phew, that guy's clever.
Yeah.
They think it took me 3 minutes to write, but really it took me 3 hours.
Right. Right.
So that's why I love, you know, so that's why I love that kind of stuff. But so my passion is writing, but I have a love for numbers because the numbers don't lie. Right? Like
Right.
the numbers don't lie. You know, if we've got 100 hits, come to a website, 100 people, and 10 people buy, we've got a 10% conversion. Not 8% or 6%, 10%. You with me?
Yep.
Like the certainty of numbers is something that I love. So back then I worked that out. I'm like, well, you know, we need to pay our mortgage, we need to pay our bills, we need to, you know, we need some extra money. Like if this is what we want here, then this is how many sales we need. This is how many, you know, this is what the web page converts at. This is how much traffic we need based on past results. This is how many affiliates we need to drive business traffic. So this is how many new affiliates we need a day. You with me?
Yep. Yep.
And then that's how I basically crunched it. And we would we had to contact 50 affiliates a day. 10 would reply out of the 50. And out of those 10 that reply, 3 would promote for us. Okay? So that meant every single day, 3 new affiliates would promote. Now, they may not promote straight away. They may promote tomorrow. They may promote in a week.
Right.
They may promote in a month. But the fact was, out of every 50, we contacted 3. 10 would reply. 3 would promote. So that meant 90 new affiliates every month. And then we had a database so we could cycle all the affiliates. You got paid this much money, so why didn't you promote again? And every month the business just grew and grew and grew. And we basically had our first 6-figure year selling information. So that's kind of how that worked. You know, it helped, you know?
It's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was life changing.
Well, you know, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be that hard anymore with everything the knowledge that you've acquired. That was a long time ago. It doesn't have to be that hard anymore. It's like you said. You're not taking months to create a product. You're doing it in hours, right? So, do you want to talk about the 6 steps that you were talking about?
Sure. So the 6 steps. So here's the thing. Before I tell you about the 6 steps, and I've been coaching people since 2008, right? So there was a lot of demand when I let's just go back 2 seconds so people really understand it. And we'll come back to the brand, right? I realized when I was buying all of this shit on the internet that nobody give a shit about us, right? Nobody give a shit. So I was pissed at the gurus, right? Like I was livid, and that's why I wrote the book Guru's Dream, The Dream They Sold Me. I then wrote Newbie's Nightmare, and then I wrote the follow-up to the trilogy, Guru's Nightmare. It's time to put the horse's head in the guru's bed, right? Like even Dan Kennedy was on my list with that book. Like the anticipation for that book was unreal. Unreal, right? Everyone was asking me like, what are you gonna speak about in this book? Like people knew that I was gonna say some stuff, right? And it was cool. So back in 2008, there was what I did was in 2007. Sorry, it was I built a brand called marketingwithyou.com. Like I built a website, not a brand, but a website, marketingwithyou.com. We're marketing with you, not to you. And the whole thing was like, I'm pissed at these gurus. All they do is promote to us. I'm actually going to, as I progress, I'm going to teach you as I progress. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to show you everything laid bare. And people loved it. They just like lapped it up. And the fact was that they could resonate with me so much because I was this guy working from my back bedroom and just growing, and I'm making $2,000-3,000 a week or whatever, and showing them how to do it. They loved it.
Yep.
So they become a demand, like, can you coach me? Can you coach me? Can you coach me? It's on the point where I was like, wow, there's so much demand for me to coach people. That's when I went to Rich Efron, and Rich had just done a multi-million-dollar launch, selling coaching, like millions, and I don't know how many millions. It was, a lot of money. And I said to Rich, I want to work with you. I want to learn from you, and I want to open a coaching program. So within 30 days of working with Rich, I launched a coaching program, put about $350,000 of sales, coaching sales, into my bank. So the first week I opened my coaching program, 650 people joined.
Wow.
$500 a pop I was charging back then, just peanuts compared to now. And because I don't want 650 people in a week ever again. 650 people, $350,000 in my PayPal account. And then I knew my life had changed.
Yep.
That was right. And I knew how to do it again. And I kept doing that over and over for some time. Now, the point here is that the reason I had such a demand for coaching was because I cared about people. I actually give a shit about people instead of everybody else. And that's how I cornered the marketplace, because I was just telling the truth, and I wouldn't promote product after promote product. Like, I don't promote affiliate offers ever unless I really use it myself or something, right? It's if we count how many affiliate offers I promoted in the years, it's not many, right? So it wasn't any longer about the money, it was about the people, because I knew the people are worth more than the money. So there's a great lesson here. A dollar can be spent. You break a dollar, you've got change. You get a customer, that customer can give you money over and over and over.
Right.
So the customer's worth more than a dollar, right? So as soon as you understand people, you can make a lot more money. So I started getting this stuff, and I started really understanding, people, so I started coaching people. A lot of demand for the coaching. But I've been coaching since 2008. So, in 2014, so 2008, 2009, 12, 13, 6 years of coaching people, right? My clients have gone on to make tens of millions of dollars, like tons of cash, endless success stories, crazy. But, when you have new people come into your program all the time, it's quite frustrating for them and for me let's say it's quite frustrating for them to be overloaded with information.
Right.
Because if you join my program, even though I take you away from all of the crap that's out there, I'm still giving you a lot of information to build a serious business. Like, some clients may launch and do a couple of hundred sales. Some might launch and do a couple of $100,000. Right. It's like it's not rare that I get on the phone to somebody who's like, dude, I just made like 50 grand a day.
Right.
So I give that kind of information in my coaching. So it's quite frustrating for somebody to come in, join a coaching, and then have all that information dropped on them, right?
Right. It's overwhelming.
It's
overwhelming.
Huh?
If you're new, it's overwhelming.
Totally.
It's overwhelming.
And it's frustrating for me to now have another person with the same frustrations. I'm like, calm down, having to talk them through it. So now I'm not a coach. I'm a counselor, right? So I never counsel, by the way. It's a joke, but people think I'm a counselor and a coach. Sometimes. So the point here is that I was like, you know what? Like, I know this is like recently, I don't know, I always try to become a better person, Anthony. Right? I'm always trying to become better, right?
Yep.
That's
always
me.
Striving.
Yeah.
Me too, man. I'm the same way.
Like, bro, like you, like I love watching your daily updates about you losing weight. I'm like,
Yep.
love pressing like. As soon as I see, like, bro, like you're doing a good mission right now.
I appreciate that support, man, because it's a passion of mine. I really want to help people. I've struggled with it, and I appreciate it when you support me. It inspires me. Your energy is used to keep going. So
yeah, it's huge, bro. Like I don't know if I could do it. I'm proud of you. So I'm always trying to become a better coach. Like, there's always better ways. Like, the moment you say you're the best, like, you lose the game, right? You lose the game. Trust
You're right.
me. Like, I'm always learning. Like, I learn from my clients all the time. So I devised a system where, well, it's funny. Let me put it like this, Anthony, right? Like, a client may say to me on the call, hey, Alex, so I've picked my niche and I'm thinking about the product. So this is the product, A good idea? I'm like, yeah, that's a great product. I think, it's going to help a lot of people. So, okay, but how am I going to get traffic? And I'll be like, why are you talking about traffic for? But what about back end, O2O? But do you think I'm going to, like, my website, do I need this site or that site, or do I need a blog? Oh, wait, well, before we say, like, should I blog once a week or twice a week? I'm like, You know what I mean? And that will happen, like, people say to me, like, how can you coach so many people? Because I have lots of different groups. You know, I do group coaching. I have lots of different groups, and I love it. It's a passion of mine. Waking up every day and hearing new successes. But if people listen, they, you know, they'll be like, man, like you care about the, you know, like, how would you do it? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But sometimes I'm like, you know, I might get a little glass of red wine and wine and a nice candle to you know, scent the room, and sometimes it can be frustrating. But like, you know, the key to coaching is empathy, right?
Yep.
It's like, I have never forgot where I came from, and it's empathy. So with that in mind and striving to become better, I built this system. It's a really simple system. There's 6 steps, right? 6 steps,
Yep.
right? So there's the niche, right? Like, there's only 6 boxes somebody can fit into, right? There's the niche, there's the product, there's the sales material, there's the automated website, there's the traffic, there's the back end.
That's
okay?
It.
That's it. So if somebody comes up to me and as soon as we get a new client, I'll speak with the client. I'll be like, so what's your ultimate goal? And everybody can tell me their ultimate goal. It's normally $10,000 a month. But like, maybe people might tell me stories that they can tell me their ultimate goal. Okay, tell me your next 5 steps to get there. Totally haven't got a clue, right? So we do this. So they're the two of the first things I work with them is their ultimate goal and the first 5 steps. But what I do is I find out what box they're in. So some people come to me, Anthony, and some people come to me with a very successful business already, and they've got traffic flowing and everything's working. They just want help with the back end. So they go straight to the back end box. But at that point, I know where they are. Yeah. I haven't got to speak about the niche. I haven't got to speak. We only focus in this box.
Right.
We don't speak about the next product until we've got this set up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, if somebody comes to me like, well, I'm a personal trainer and I really want to, you know, teach people my diet system, you know, then I may put them in the niche box. I may put them in the product creation box, depending on how much information they have,
yep.
right? But I then, so here's what I do. Let's just say somebody comes to me and say, I have no clue. I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm lost, frustrated, confused, and I want to make $10,000 a month. I know exactly what to do with you. I'm going to put you in the niche box. So you're going to go in the niche box. You're not going to speak about anything else. So I green light them in the niche box. I then yellow light them in the product creation box, which means they work, because they green lighted in the niche, they work within the niche box. Yellow light means they're able to study my product creation training, right? And then I red light everything else. They're not even allowed to speak to me about their sales letter.
Yep.
Not even allowed to speak to me about their website. If they even dare, they know they're in trouble. I'm a no BS coach, by the way. Like, I take no shit, no prisoners. I am not here to play around. This is people's lives at risk, right? So that's how I get them laser focused on where they are, and how basically we remove all information overload, and it's a step-by-step process. And it's really simple, Anthony, but I've only just introduced this several months, I don't know, a few months.
Right.
Say 5-6 months I've been playing like with my clients with this, and the transformation of conversation and progression with clients has just been like no other. I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, like the success stories now are just like, ba-bing, 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 ba-bing.
Well, it makes sense, right? Their attention's not divided anymore. They've got laser-like focus on one box until it's done. And then they worry about the next box.
Yeah, so I have this whole box concept now. I've just like, so I've got like trainers like think inside the box. So it's about like, you know, you can't get outside the box. But everyone says think outside the box. No, think inside the box and stay in the box, right?
Yeah.
So you know, if they want to write sales copy, I've got training like sales copy in a box, right? I got, you know, what's missing from the box. I mean, like you know, moving from box to box. Like I've got all these trainings where it just fits together. And people just like literally the green, and all we do is watch the green light move.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? Man.
And we track them. And so I have a full-time person in my office with me tracking each client's progression.
That's awesome.
If they stay in the box too long, we contact them like, why are you in this box for so long?
Right.
Like, how can we help you move to the next box?
Right. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Guys, it's a badass way of coaching.
Is that how you overcome the procrastination, is with the box system?
Yeah, because now if I'm on a conversation and we're like, okay, so we're going to create your product, Anthony. You know what niche you want to do. You've done your market intel. You know exactly what the marketplace wants. So you're able to create the perfect product for these people. Like they're going to salivate over it once you release this. If you even dare speak to me about traffic, because you've been taught the green light system before you work with me.
Yeah.
You can't talk about traffic. I'm like, stop. Like we'll talk about traffic when we get there.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay. Oh,
Right.
and then they go,
right.
laser focus. You know what I mean?
And then the procrastination basically goes away because they're just focusing on getting that box done to get to the next box. It makes sense.
Yeah, and what
they're
I do
not
is
overwhelmed with all the things they have to do, and they're like, I'm not going to do anything today, because it's too much shit.
Yeah, and there's a training project in the box. So whatever stage you're in, that's the project, and all of the tasks are inside that project, and you just tick them off. You have a daily to-do sheet and tick them off. And, I mean, like we were saying, Anthony, it's not sexy, right? It's not a magic business, but I'm telling you, the money is sexy. You know what I mean?
Of course it is, yeah.
So
I want to kind of give people the big picture here because I want to connect the dots. And this is how you have we've gotten to this point in this awesome mastermind here, this little mini mastermind between Alex and myself. We've gotten to this point because we wanted to talk to you about how you stay in this business for 10 years, okay? Mm-hmm. So that you don't become a come-and-go artist. And I've been in the business also for a long time. I didn't start teaching people anything or selling any information until 2007, but I came into the business in 2002 using SEO to generate lots of leads for my real estate business. Along the way, I did affiliate marketing. Now, I know a lot of you watching this video that are part of my community, that follow what I'm doing online. A lot of you are affiliate marketers. There's more affiliate marketers than there are product creators, and I know that because I've spoken with a lot of you, and there are some product creators on hanging out and watching us. And how you stay in this business for 10 years is by making the transition from an affiliate to a product creator. Now, what Alex had said, which was really important when he went to that Alabama seminar, I hope you picked up on something. When he went to that Alabama seminar, he looked around and he realized that all these people in the room didn't know what he knew. And I guarantee you that you watching this video already know a lot of this shit, right? And you can put something down. Like if you're a good affiliate and you're making money as an affiliate, there's no reason why you can't teach people how you're making money as an affiliate. And you can create your very first product. Now, it doesn't have to be like a huge product that takes you months to create. It can be something really simple. And this is what Alex is really good at. Alex is good at teaching people how to become product creators. Like he just said, he's got a box system with steps. And, one thing that you should understand, if you're an affiliate and you look at the leaderboards and you're promoting stuff in different niches, if you look at who the top affiliates are, most of them are product creators. So without us even having to say anything to you, just look at the leaderboards, right? The top guys are the product creators.
Something that's interesting though is we crunched our numbers for last year, and thousands of affiliates. Okay, and if you think about it, like here's just the logic in it anyway, right? Like why be a affiliate for a program or programs? And you have to go and bust ass and drive the traffic when you can work once smartly. You pick a niche that's hungry. Yep. You do your market intel to really extract like what that marketplace wants. You package into an information where there's audio, video, or written really quickly, right? People don't care how long it takes you to create a product. When they buy it, they care how quickly they can extract value. They don't care if you bust ass for months. They don't care, how much it costs you. They care about what they can extract as quickly as possible, right? Yep. So you create these products fast, deliver the value, you package it and release it, and now you attract affiliates. And we've got a system called, affiliate attraction. And now you attract thousands of affiliates to promote for you. Think about that logically. There's without even thinking about the money, just logically, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, because now you control the traffic.
Yeah, and then you build this buyers list and you own the traffic, right? Totally. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many variables you own, like the conversions, the funnels, the process of, bro, it blows my mind, right? And
Well,
there's
you know,
something
I
that
think fear has a lot to do with it. You know, I remember when I created my first info product was in 2007, was a real estate info product, and I was like, are people really going to read this and
uh
believe me and take action on what I'm teaching? So I think that's what holds a lot of people back. And Alex and I are here to tell you that if you've got experience in what you're doing, like if you're an affiliate marketer and you're a really good affiliate marketer, there's, like Alex said, you can make 10 times more money teaching this stuff, and it's the truth, you know.
totally. Like, just let me just run a couple of things here,
Sure.
just because I don't want to lose it for them.
No,
You know,
go
it's
for it. Go
important.
for
Like
it.
last year, and we'll come back to fear and the if you know something. Last year we had thousands and thousands of affiliates promote for us. Most affiliates, listen to this, most affiliates made zero sales.
Wow.
Majority made very little sales.
Wow.
The most of our sales come from a
Product
very
owners.
small core group of vendors, the product owners who are our affiliates.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't
just like,
surprise me.
look there, you know what I mean?
Doesn't surprise me.
And we paid them a lot of money, like we did pay them a lot of money. Now, something with fear, let me just talk about fear quickly. This is just something that I come across all the time with my clients. Like, I remember who's going to want to buy my product. There's so many other products out there.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert. I can hit you with every objection now.
I've been there. I've been there.
And I launched my first product, and the feedback started coming in. The product didn't live up to the sales letter. Okay, so I started getting refunds, and I started having people saying to me like, "What the hell is this crap?" For Easy Profit Auctions, right? And oh man, I was buckled over on my mum's couch, devastated. Like when I was saying about that launch, $27,000. Like people, like a lot of people, not a lot, like 5% were pissed, right?
But that's for your first product, right? In the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot, right? But for your first product, that seems like a lot. Like if you look at some of the refund rates on some of the products out there, 5% is not a lot.
But the message hurts.
Right.
Like you've told us this in the sales letter, and this is crap.
Your
right?
first time, of course, I get it.
Yeah. So, but this is the thing about fear, because I think this is such an important lesson that I then took a few days. It kind of takes me a few days to get the brain really working.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, hang on a sec. I can use all of this feedback to better my product. So I sent an email to the rest of the customers. I said, hey, really thankful for all of the kind comments, because we were having kind comments. Also, I really appreciate some of the comments that people have made about the product. I'm actually going to be creating a 20-part video series, and I'm going to give it to you for free as a bonus. And I'm going to start working on it tonight, and I'll drop a video in every single day for the next 20 days. If there's anything that you would like from me personally, this is my personal email address.
Nice.
Please shoot me an email.
Nice.
Whether it's a nice comment, or whether it's, I hate you, Alex, or whether it's anything that you want from me, I'm going to make it happen for you.
Nice.
Boom, my email inbox blew up, and people just give me endless love.
Nice. Giddy up.
And it wasn't just endless love, because I learned, because that helped me. I've talked about the endless love because it helped me, first of all, like, shit, because I was in a bad place before writing that email. Like, I was scared to write that freaking email, right? And then it put me in a, not just a nice place, but it also gave me that constructive feedback of what needs to happen in the product next, right? Now, here's what's interesting. 20 days later, when a new customer joined, they didn't know what was 20 days prior. They've now seen this product with all the videos, and it lived up to every expectation the sales rep said.
Boom. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and so don't let the fear because here's the great thing, right? And I it's kind of going off topic, and I don't want to go too far off topic with this, but there's something that I do which is called customer driven content. Okay, like I can launch a program, I can sell a copious amounts of an offer at extreme prices, and not have anything there for sale, right? Zero, nothing. And then I can actually extract from those customers what they want and then give it to them, right? So there's something called customer-driven content that I do, and I don't want to go too far off it, but like the point here is that if you live in fear, you're never going to get that information out of them. So just go out there, just do it, and if it isn't the best, make it better.
Yep.
Strive to become better. And the great thing is, if you share with people, like give people part of the experience, they like you. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like they feel a part of the growth.
Yep.
I think that overcomes fear. I think. I personally believe.
No, no,
It's,
totally. And it's so crazy because after you do it once, you're just like, why haven't I been doing this before? It's like
yeah,
after you get it done, you're like, what did I wait so long to do this for? This isn't that hard.
yeah,
And then you start showing up on leaderboards like me all the
yeah,
time, like Alex. Well, you don't promote a lot. You don't promote as much as I do. I promote a lot.
yeah.
But you're a little bit different than me. That's okay. But like I show up on a shit ton of leaderboards, and the reason why is because I've got as a product creator, I've got a big list that I'm able
Yeah.
to generate from it. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I built my business differently, and the great thing is like there's sheer flexibility of you know of any business. I just grew up with the likes of Rich Sheffer and Jay Abraham,
yep.
those kind of guys where they beat me into this business model.
Yeah,
Like
which is a good
literally,
business model. It's a good business model. No,
Yes.
totally.
Yeah.
And, folks listening to this may find that they don't want to be promoting anymore. It's definitely at the end of the day, you can bring people up through a funnel, like you said, and the back end business just explodes because you can be selling a lot of higher ticket stuff and doing really well with that. So, so let me ask you this: what do you got cooking now? What's going on now? Like, you put out a
So
lot of great stuff. I mean, I've gotten most of your stuff. The Money Trigger, great product. The affiliate product, the Traffic Sniper product, great product. I got the Traffic Rush system, another great product. So what do you got cooking now, man? I mean, you've been putting out lot of bestseller hits.
yeah, so I mean, my flagship product for years was Marketing with Alex, right? I mean, for years we sold millions and millions of dollars worth of that product, and we've sold, just the success story. I love the feedback on a daily basis, just from people with that. It's funny, I have an addiction of Googling myself on a daily basis. I need to give it up, man. I'm telling you, it's just one of those addictions.
That's funny.
But it's just nice to see like what's going on. It's not an ego thing. Maybe it is, but like it's just to see like what customers and people are doing and saying. And I'm always keeping in tune with the marketplace. Like I think it's very important to keep in tune, especially if you want to be a leader.
Totally.
And Rich Effron's like the guru to the gurus, one of my best friends in the world. Rich is the kind of guy who says to me, I remember we're driving in his Porsche, and he looked at me, he said, our friendship, he's like, I'm the kind of guy, if you're in jail in Mexico, you phone me, I'm driving to Mexico to get you out of jail, and
awesome.
he's like, that's the friendship, and it's but something is that I say to him, like, I'm coming after you, like I'm coming after you, and in a friendly way and in a fun way, but it's real, right? Like I want to be a leader. I want to change lives. I want to have all the success stories. And yes, it's definitely a selfish reason as well, because I get high off, helping people, at Christmas time, I don't want presents. I want to get presents because I get high off
Yep.
I'm in that state, So basically, I launched a program last year called the Cashbox Blueprint. And the Cashbox Blueprint it become the new flagship product of my company. It was like, there's lots of success stories coming very quickly. Lots of people were excited about it. Lots of feedback, and lots of people wanted to join my coaching afterwards, right? They were sold on me, right? So since the Cashbox Blueprint, which was my kind of concept of coaching, then the green light system basically followed it, kind of fell into place. And every week, Anthony, I do coaching every week with different groups. And sometimes I'll turn up and have no clue what I'm going to speak about. And I come up with a concept because I do it all on a whiteboard. And I speak with a group of people. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
So I'm basically releasing, it's called The Ultimate Profit Empire. We're going to be releasing that shortly. And it's this, I was talking about the 6 stages. It's basically those stages and talking people through those stages. We've thrown in some cool things like the lazy empire, and because there's a lot of lazy people out there, But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm cooking now, and I personally feel like this is going to be like the one, like the success stories is going to be everywhere,
Nice.
And
Nice.
it's exciting, and it's over by there, but I've got a folder of all the paper, and I'm a writer, because I get it on my mind, I write it down, and I rewrite it down, and and I don't just do it once. Like I keep writing to myself every day, right? And then as you start to write about the same thing over and over, you become back to it. I'm like, the marketplace needs this, if I could draw on one A4 piece of paper, like if I could give that to somebody to explain it in like, an hour video, it changes their life. So yeah, I'm going to release, I'm going to start recording it in 2 days. I'm going to start recording the program and I'm going to release it, and it should be a high ticket program, but I'm going to release it at a nice cheap price and get out there, thousands of people, and it's exciting to see the stories come again out.
That's awesome, man. The more people you can help, the better. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I do this, because I've got a great local marketing business, and I consult with nightclubs locally, and I make way more doing that than doing this, but I'm like addicted to helping the people here, man. There's just something about getting an email from somebody or a blog post from somebody or a comment from somebody like, Anthony, what you sent me changed my life. It becomes so addictive, man. It's so crazy. So I feel you, and why not, make it available so that a lot of people can get their hands on it? I think that's a big problem with our market. People price stuff way too high, and then it can't help common people that need to be able to get away into the marketplace.
Well, I'm also very transparent in, that I'm going to build a huge list of customers who will then buy more stuff from me and spend those high prices with me, because I do charge high prices for stuff. And, and it's very, like all my marketing's transparent, Right. Something actually I'm going to do with the program is, so I'm going to do a few things I've never done before, right? Just let me throw it out there, just like bounce with you a bit. I'm going to do like a live walkthrough as the vendor. So like me as the seller, I'm going to walk them through all of my web pages. So it's basically a 3-page empire, right? You have these 3 pages, and it's like sales page, download page, affiliate page, right? And I'm going to walk people through behind the scenes of this, how they tie together, and I'll give them the templates. Then I'm going to go and buy the product, and I'm going to do a walkthrough as the customer, so they see it as I would see it and the customer would see it. Then I'm going to give them the templates. I'm going to give them the resources, so like who I use to build my web pages and stuff, because I don't know, do all that crap. And I'm going to show them how to write the sales letter so it converts. I'm going to show them how to create the product. But some of the things I want to say to you in there is my swipe files. I'm going to give them all of my swipe files. So as soon as somebody becomes a customer, I put them through a whole email sequence. It's like 40 emails. Well, as part of this of Ultimate Profit Empire, I'm going to give them those 40 emails just to dissect.
Nice.
We make millions from those emails. Like those emails alone bring in millions of dollars.
Nice.
So they're bad boys. Trust me.
Well, for folks that are watching this video, most of the folks, like I said, are affiliates that are into what I'm doing, and most people already know this stuff because they know how to write copy for ads. They know how to read copy that converts. So it's like such an easy transition to go from becoming an affiliate to becoming a product creator is not hard. And with the knowledge that a lot of you people know about this stuff, about the products that you promote and about how to drive traffic, it's like you are already like 80% there. You just need to flip the switch and launch a product of your own is really all it comes down to.
So just two stories, and then if you want to wrap it up or anything you want to say, it's but there's 2 stories here. It's like when my motorbike business was down, I knew who my real friends were, because a lot of people were very happy that I was down. I'd gone up, and I'd left the construction business. I built my own business. I was successful in my own right, and then I've crashed, and then people beat me by it. I remember going to the pub and I couldn't even buy a beer. And I used to ask my friends, can I buy me a beer? And they'd laugh and be like, come on, bro, like again, And it was embarrassing, it was really, really embarrassing. But there was very few people who stuck by me, very few people. So as I set out to do my next business, I needed like the Cosa Nostra, it's like nobody knows to my wife. Like me and my wife had this thing that we don't tell anybody what I'm doing, right? Like nobody, building this business. So as I started to become successful, I didn't tell anybody. And I had this code of silence, from where I was, nobody knew, right? So it wasn't until I moved from like a 2-bedroom semi-detached house to a big footballer's crib, and then somebody Googled me and then put it on Facebook, and everybody then kind of, now knew what the hell I was doing. But they still don't know what I do. Pyramid schemes or multi-level marketing. They have no clue, right? So I'm out with my best friend two evenings ago, right? We're just in a local pub having a beer. You know, my wife and his girlfriend are, you know, with the kids over the house, and we're out for a beer catch up. You know, I don't see him as much anymore, right? So I'm talking, and the point of the story is that he's like, you know, nobody knows what you do. It's crazy because I just went to the Grammys, right? I don't know if you saw the pictures, but I went to the Grammys and I went to the Oscars earlier in the year, right? So he's like, you know, how do you like? I walked on the red carpet with Alicia Keys, right?
That's awesome.
My friend is like, how do you do that stuff? Like, who are you? You with me? And I really tried to explain to him, like, it's this marketing thing. It's simple, right? And and I said, look, what I do is create, package, and release information, right? And he actually breeds dogs. So I said, well, let me give you an example. Like, you breed these dogs. You could teach people how to breed these dogs. You can make 10 times more money from selling the information and actually breeding dogs. And he goes, well, I'm not the expert. I said, but you don't need to be the expert. You know, if you can just run one litter, which, you know, one litter is like $20,000 of these English bulldogs. If you can teach somebody how to do one litter and you know, make sure that the mother doesn't roll over and kill the babies, which they do a lot. You know, if you can tell people how, because it's labor-intensive work, you know, of feeding the shifts. You can teach people of a shift pattern.
Great example.
Yeah, if you can teach people, bro, you want to see my mate's eyes light up? It's like, I get the drinks in. You know? Yeah, but he come over, he was kissing me, he was hugging me, he was so thankful. And I haven't spoken to him for the last 2 days, but I'm sure he's going to do it because he's an entrepreneur, but he's lost in all these different ways.
You should put him through the step system, man.
Yeah, the one thing is, you know, it's like with friends then, you know, right. That conversation always becomes about business, and he's a real dear friend of mine, and I would rather our conversations to be about what we talk about now, you know what I mean?
Right.
He does well for himself. He's an entrepreneur, he's a hustler, you know, he's still, you know, he's a straight up hustler. But yeah, so, but that's the thing. Now, so let me just give everybody else this example, because I kind of just did a little drawing. I guess it's a very simple drawing, but, you know, these are my memory drawings to remember, something to teach you. Is that, you know, it's you know, you can, look, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to hang out with Anthony because I think this guy is a badass mofo. I am telling you, this guy is a badass, right?
Thanks, man.
Seriously.
Likewise,
yeah.
Dude, likewise.
You know? And you know, and look, if you do buy, you know, the ultimate, you know, profit, it's a very cheap product with when I say cheap product, I shouldn't say that word, but it's an inexpensive product with a lot of value.
Yeah.
And if you take this mindset, you are not that person going out anymore trying to drive traffic. You quickly create something that is just of extreme value that attracts and has ultimate leverage on so many points I can't even explain in this short period now. It has so many points of leverage. You just literally have it all coming in. Like, since me and Anthony have been on the call, I don't know how many sales I would have made. Yeah. But we would have made a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we would have made a lot. I don't know, bro. I don't know how to drive traffic. If we really want to be like, you know, cards on the table, I'm not like some SEO ninja or some PPC ninja or Facebook ninja or none of that. No. But I get tens of thousands of hits to my websites on the regular all the time, just like it's over and over and over. And the sale, and we've got a website that converts traffic into sales.
Yeah.
We now have customer lists, and we sell those customers more stuff because a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. You know,
makes sense.
I just hope people have taken value from this. And if there's anything you want to throw at me, you hit me, brother.
Man, you covered it 6 ways to Sunday. I mean, there's a lot of value in here, and you know, I'm going to see if I can try to get this transcribed, too, because there's a lot of really good information in here. And I don't want people to watch this and then see that we've been on for an hour and be like, oh, but there's, I mean, like, you know, the stories are important. And I feel like I've got people hit me up and be like, I don't want to hear the story. And I'm like, but wait, don't you understand that they just want the secrets, right? But don't you understand that the story is important? Like, understanding how we got to where we are is the secret, you know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's funny. Look, here's the funny thing. I run regular 7-hour classes, right? So I run 7 hours of coaching, right? And and I'm doing a 5-minute speech soon. I'm going to do 5 minutes on stage to a random audience. Nothing to do with marketing. It's just I'm going to do a speech, and I'm going to give a 5-minute speech. And somebody posted on my thread, they're like, but what's going to happen for the, what's, going to happen for the next 6 hours and 55 minutes? I said, well, as soon as I finish my speech, I'll tell everybody I'll be over the bar where we can continue the conversation. With me, and I'll continue the conversation over there. Now, here's the thing. In my office, I'm very dismissive with a lot of my team around me because once I have somebody around me, they're only around me because I believe they get it, right? So I'm quite dismissive with my conversation. I don't need to long-wind an explanation, right? So I'm very quick and I'm out. With my customers, clients, and marketplace, I'm very long-winded because I expect them not to get it. And I tell them stories, and I'll tell them a story about this, and I'll tell them a story about that, because then they go, aha, the story's married. And they remember the stories.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
It's like people don't remember steps, they remember stories.
Yes. So true.
You know?
So true.
So if people don't like the stories, well, just, I mean,
they're not the right people.
Yeah. But the make your own story. You know what I'm saying? Just
totally,
if you don't want to listen to other people's stories, go make your own story.
Yeah, totally.
Tell a story because stories sell, facts tell.
That's
right? Stories sell. I'm going to speak on stage soon.
But it's important for people to know how real we are and that we've been through it, man. I've been through it, made a lot, lost a lot, made a lot back. I've been through it, man. It didn't just happen. It didn't just show up, and and I'm not saying that to discourage anybody. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do things because, you're going to make a lot and lose a lot. It's just do it. It's better than working for the man. It's better to control your own freedom. At the end of the day, all of it's worth it. It's so worth it. I would do it all over again, the exact same way,
I envy people who are able to do it all again. I envy them, envy people who are able to do it all, starting from scratch. I mean, what a journey. And just there's a saying that, there's only one way to get rich, and that's quick, right? And I love that saying because it isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, right? But the fact is that, you, like Anthony, when you did your launch, quick. Me, quick. Anybody I know, if you look on the internet, quick success.
Yep.
Well, the thing is that the only way to get rich is quick, but there's a long time before it getting everything lined up.
Yep.
So you have to get everything lined up, and then as soon as all your ducks are lined up, boom.
Just happens fast, man.
6 steps. And the great thing is, it isn't even 6 steps, because it's it's less than that, because with the system I teach now, is we only need to get to traffic. The back end is the multipliers, and we'll talk about multipliers another time, But
dude, awesome, man. Totally awesome interview. Loved it, man. Loved it. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, and I know everybody watching this appreciates your time. And I know that this call is going to inspire anybody that watches it. So thank you very much for everything, man. Super grateful.
Appreciate it, my man. And just a quick one, because I never really do this, but because I rarely blog or anything, right? But my blog is marketingwithyou.com, right?
Okay.
If you if you listen to this, if you've been inspired, go and leave a comment on any of the posts, and just say and tell me the story about how you've heard about me and Anthony. Say you come from here. Leave your Facebook profile. I don't add anybody on Facebook, but just open up conversation. It's
I'm actually going to be posting this on my Anthony Aries blog, and I'll put a link from there to the Marketing with Alex, so that folks can head over there and see you and give you some feedback there.
I'd love to, yeah. Or there you go. Just post your feedback below instead of all that shenanigans. Post your feedback below on Anthony's.
No. I'm going to put a link so that they want to go find you. It's Marketing with You. That's the blog you like, right? That's the one that you prefer, right?
Well, I don't really blog anyway. I mean, I blog once.
Right. But that's the one that you prefer to get the feedback on. Marketingwithyou.com.
Let's do Anthony Aries. We'll get the feedback below this video. I just want to hear the feedback of this. Did they dig it?
You got it, brother.
I look forward to it. And,
you got it, man.
Yeah, it's been good, man. Listen, Anthony, you're legend.
You're a rock star too, bro. Have a good speech. Rock it, kill it.
Go on, boy. Peace.
Talk to you later, man.
Alex Jeffrey, sign off. Peace and love. Ciao for now. Booyah.